So we're back, and only a few days after my last one. Don't get used to that. I'm doing this because there's 2 Australian Private Reserve pass arounds going on in the Facebook group called TSM, or the Shave Market, and this is the second one that I received. I got both of them 2 or 3 days apart. The last one, if you remember, if you watched it, was Veller's Noir, a masculine but polarizing scent I liked a lot. This one is Fenchurch, and it's also a complex scent, but it's much more accessible, and we'll get into that later as we get into the shave. But if you didn't watch the last video or are unfamiliar, Australian Private Reserve has been around for a couple of years. Dan Bushmore, he runs the show, and he is the perfumer. He's known for making a lot of complex scents, very complex with a lot of scent notes. Very good perfumers, but he doesn't actually make the soap. He's in a partnership with a soap maker in his area. And that person makes the soap for him. He packages it and sends it, and so it's kind of a partnership they have going. So you don't see that too often. It's usually a one or 2 person show, like husband, wife, or like some guy working in his garage or whatever. But so that's an interesting operation. But they're out of as their title suggests, they're out of Australia, and they're available. They've been kind of unavailable. You used to could only order them from overseas, and that results in kind of a high shipping cost from Australia to America. So understandably, they're a little higher price than a lot of other brands out there. So they're in the premium bracket as far as wet shaving products go. But the good news is they are available at West Coast Shaving with free shipping. So that's probably your best option. That you can also get them at maggorazors.com or Crematorium. All right, so Fenchurch. The concept behind Fenchurch, as described on the APR website, is it says explores the many varieties of fine things. So this is a complex scent featuring whiskey, leather, papyrus, which is an interesting scent note, suede, heliotrope, plum, sweet tobacco flower, dark tobacco leaf, benzoin, labdanum, vanilla, musk, patchouli, and tuberose. Huge list, but not much longer, if about the same as the last soap of theirs that I reviewed. So Dan likes to put a lot of stuff in there and concoct complex and beautiful scents, and this one is amazing. It is, as I mentioned earlier, this will be a lot less polarizing, at least I think so, than Veller's Noir. And I would describe this as like pretty much an anytime scent. I don't think it's offensive at all. There might be a few people who don't like it. My wife likes the aftershave over the soap, I will say that. And I highly recommend getting the aftershave if you decide to buy this by the end of this review, or if you've been on the fence. If you got the soap and haven't gotten it, I highly recommend it because it's fantastic. I dabbed a little on the other day, so I already have familiarity with the scent. But that being said, there's a number of floral notes in there, and I'm not a big floral guy unless they're blended well. Boar hair shedding. It's one thing I don't like about boar hair brushes. They shed a lot. But the notes that I do detect, I get a lot of leather and tobacco. And the musk and the vanilla are very slight in there. And I don't really get any whiskey. I think most of this is just so well blended, you're not going to be able to pick out a whole lot. There's a few things, and I tend to like leather. I have a few leather scented things. But the leather and the tobacco and the sweeter notes remind me a lot of Grosshot League Square by Declaration Grooming and Chatelaine Luxe. It's a permanent collaboration that they did, and that's a very good one. I think this is different enough to justify buying both, but I think if you like Grosshot League Square, you will like this one a lot. And I think I do detect there's something in there that maybe it is the papyrus. There's something in it's just kind of like my first impression, I thought there was some kind of like a slight vetiver scent. I think that's actually the papyrus because vetiver is not present. And that was probably the most interesting note to me, if that is indeed what that is. First pass over with, I've already got some razor burn right there, you can see it. Probably used, it's either a bad blade razor combination. This is a Gillette Sheridan, it's a little more aggressive. I normally don't have any irritation with it. But I'm using a Gillette Silver Blade. I don't use those very often as opposed to my usual Oyster Greens. So, I don't know. I got to use some balm today. And also it's kind of drying out. I don't think I used enough water. This boar brush is a lot stingier and I'm having a lot harder time hydrating it. So just keep that in mind. If you're not terribly experienced with boar like I am, then, you know, I'm not experienced with them. So if you're not either, you maybe stick with the synthetics like I should have. But like last time, if you saw that video, maybe I just cut myself. This is the version 2 soap base. It's tallow based. And it is excellent in all categories. Excellent slickness, residual slickness. You don't need any visible lather to buff over areas if you need to. Post shave is excellent. Unless you made a mistake like I did, you can probably skip a post shave product, but I highly suggest that you get the post shave product just for the scent factor alone. And the lather, I was thinking it was pretty average on thirst, but I think it's actually more like mid thirst, depending on what brush you're using. But the consistency is pretty dense. It's like mid construct lather. It's not, I wouldn't say it's low construct or high construct. It's somewhere in the middle, depending on how much water you use. It's very dense and it's kind of sour cream and shiny in consistency. I like it a lot. I like it a whole lot. It's a very good scent. Excellent performance. You can't go wrong with this in my opinion. So awesome shave. Had a couple of issues like I mentioned earlier in the near neck. It's kind of bloodless. There's just a little red spot there, so I'll have to use some balm. But if I had been stupid and used a blade that I wasn't sure about in this, then probably would have been a drama-free shave. But I can't complain. That was user error. It's not the soap's fault. Awesome scent. Love it. I'm going to have to pick this one up. The wife approves of it, so that's always good. Unlike the last one, she did not approve of Vellers Noir, so that one is a no-go for me. But I really like that one too. But yeah, if you like leather and kind of like a woody floral scents with a muskiness in the background, I think this will serve you well, especially if you like stuff like Gras League Square by Declaration Grooming and Chatillon Luxe. I think those would be that's a good indicator. If you like that one, that's a good indicator that you will like this one. So 2 thumbs up for me on all counts here. So if you like the video, please hit like, or if you didn't like it, please hit dislike, because it still counts as interaction. It helps get my video attention. Comment below if you've ever tried it or had any other experiences with APR. I will see you next time.